everyone, I'm here today to share with you guys some new baking hacks because Valentine's Day is around the corner, and while I don't personally need any holiday to convince me to bake, I know a lot of people tend to do a lot of baking around Valentine's Day and do all sorts of like cute treats, so I thought I would test out some different baking hacks that I haven't actually tried before, and we'll see if any of them work. Hopefully they do. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but my shirt is covered with hearts. You know, trying to be all festive and stuff. If you guys have missed any of my cooking or baking hack videos, I will link them down below for you guys as well as the end of the video. And without further ado, let's get into this. So the first hack we are gonna be testing is one that I kept seeing over and over and over online, especially on Pinterest. Pinterest loves this hack. And it is taking a cake mix and mixing it with Coke, just the two ingredients, and apparently it makes a very moist and delicious cake. Now, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I actually dislike a lot the taste of Coke and Pepsi. It's just not my thing. Don't at me. But according to a bunch of the recipes that I saw online, it's not actually supposed to taste like Coke. It's just going to make the cake very moist and chocolatey and delicious and just bring out those flavors more. So I'm gonna test that from the perspective of someone that dislikes the taste of this thing. And I'm using today, this is a super moist devil's food cake flavor, because that was the one that I saw predominantly online. I don't know if there's a difference like in taste from that and like a regular chocolate, but that's what I'm using today. So I'm just gonna dump in the chocolate cake mix. All right, cake mix is in. Now a can of Coke, and that's apparently it. So now I'm just going to mix this together as I would a normal cake mix, and then we're going to move on to the next hack involving this. All right, it smells and looks like chocolate cake, but I don't trust it yet. For the next hack, I'm gonna be taking this batter, making little cupcakes, but not just any cupcakes. I felt because Valentine's Day is coming up, I would test out where you can take a little marble, you place it in behind one of the little wrappers, and it creates a heart-shaped cupcake. And I thought, that's pretty cute. So I wanna see how heart-shaped this actually looks. So I'm gonna fill in all of these cupcakes here, and then I'm gonna take a little piece of glass vase filler. They say to use a marble, which you could use as well if you have them on hand, but I have these. Make sure they're glass though. This is important. Don't put plastic in here. All right, so I've put some of them in. They kind of look like little Pac-Mans, but you know, we're gonna try it. I put 2 into this one just to see if making it bigger made a difference and it was more noticeable as a heart versus not. I don't know. All right, guys, they have come out of the oven and they're not exactly heart-shaped, but I will tell you, if you are in the market for a Hello Kitty-shaped cupcake hack, this is the hack for you. Okay, they have cooled, and now the moment of truth, everyone. Does it taste like Coke and chocolate or just like a really good chocolate cupcake? Whoa, it's very light, like crumbly. It tastes very chocolatey and moist, and that's definitely the overwhelming flavor in it. I can taste a little bit of like Coca-Cola in there just from that sweet, almost like syrupiness. So I can taste it in there, but it's not very strong, I'll give them that. It's also not a very dense cupcake, like it's very light, it's crumbling very easily, so I can see if you made this into a cake, this would not hold up very well. Honestly, I would so much rather eat this with like eggs and sugar and oil or whatever it is that you actually make it with than Coke, because I do taste some of that and I'm not a fan of that taste. Next up, we're gonna be testing out a hack involving some cake pans. But first, before I get into that, I want to test out one that I've seen floating around and that you guys had talked about in the video where I did a full recipe just following along to the audio, like the voiceover of the recipe online. And one of the things that I struggled with was like lining the bottom of a round cake pan. So there is a hack that you can just take a piece of parchment paper, you fold it into basically a triangle, cut it down, and then it does the work for you to create this perfect circle. So I want to do that because I struggled with it hard in the other video, and also I need to make 2 of them anyway, so let's test it. So first I need to hack off a piece of parchment paper that's a little bit bigger than the bottom of the cake pan. Done. Crushing this already. So then I need to fold it in half, like bottom to top, and then from left to right to create basically like a square. Then I fold it into a bit of a triangle, then fold it again in the same direction to make an even smaller triangle. All right, done. So then basically all I have to do is place this so that the tip of the triangle is right in the center of the cake pan, and then I just like lob off along the edge. Think that's the center? That looks about right. Then when you unfold it, it creates a perfect little circle. Oh And you put that in the bottom of your pan. So now the cake pans are filled with chocolate cake because, you know, had to make another recipe. Never too much cake in my opinion. But this hack is specifically designed to help with like layered cakes and to make each layer much flatter so you don't have to like lob off as much when it goes rounded when you bake it in the oven. So I figured I would test it today and do one with the hack, one without, and we'll see if it actually makes a difference. And the hack is to lob off a chunk of an old towel, pin it together with a safety pin, and then wrap it around the edge of the pan. Kind of like this. Oh, I should have done this without the batter in it. So you have here a nice roll for your cake. So I'm gonna put these in the oven and we're gonna see if this damp cloth is actually going to help the layer kind of stay more flat so you don't have to do as much to it when you layer it. All right, the cakes are now out and they have cooled down. This is the side that had the towel kind of wrapped around it. It looks a little bit flatter from here, but I'm gonna take them out of their pans and just see if that's the case. So looking at them from the side, like I guess this one's a little bit flatter, but like, I don't know, not a huge difference, right? Like it's definitely slightly more flat, but I don't know if enough to justify cutting up a towel and dampening it and like tying it around, you know? Okay, now a hack for keeping your cake nice and moist. So you know how sometimes when you have like a piece that's taken out, one side will get like super crusty and hard. So apparently if you put a piece of bread, it's gonna keep the cake moist. The bread will be bad, but the cake will be delicious. So we're gonna experiment today. I'm gonna leave it open. I'm gonna put a piece of bread on one side and not a piece of bread on the other side. We're gonna see by end of day if it actually makes a difference. Okay, so the cake has been left overnight. As you can see, we ate some first, but now it has been left overnight, so it is a little bit dried out on the one side. So I want to see if it actually, oh, the bread is like stale, but is the cake moist? Oh, it is. Oh, that works really well. If you don't have a cake cover, this actually did a really good job at keeping it moist. Next up is an icing hack, and last time I tried an icing hack, it was using marshmallow, and that was interesting. But this one involves taking a store-bought icing, so something that you would buy in a can and eat and watch Netflix, and making it a little bit easier to apply to a cake or cupcakes or anything like that. And so all you need to do is microwave it. I'm gonna add some red dye because the hack that I was watching for this particular one, they made it pink, which is very Valentine's Day. But then you just take your icing, you pour it over the cake or cupcakes, let it set, and then it's easy peasy icing without any of the work of like having to like spread it on. So I'm gonna take this vanilla icing and we're going to melt it. Oh, look how good that is. Oh man. So I'm just gonna take a bunch of this. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of icing. We'll start with like that much. See if this actually works first. And then I'm going to add some red dye to it just to make it pink. Sorry, my bad. You don't pour it over, you dip the cupcakes because, you know, they are kind of dippable. So now I'm just going to take the cupcakes and dip it into the now melted down icing. There's one. I don't know. It's kind of sad looking. Plus, because the cupcakes are chocolate, you can kind of see the chocolate through it. I don't know, maybe I'll let this one harden and then I'll put more icing on top. This is what the cupcakes are looking like right now, which I mean, isn't super pretty looking or anything like that. I'm gonna let this cool down a little bit more and see if that helps, and also adding another layer of the icing as well. I added another layer to this one, which is now just dripping over the side. I checked the temperature of this. This isn't as hot as I thought it was. I was like, oh, maybe I'm just like melting it too much, but it really isn't that hot. And it's just not pretty looking. Maybe it's different if you use like vanilla cupcake and icing and chocolate cupcake and icing, and then you don't notice like any of these like little details and stuff. And I think it'll be nice and glossy, which is always pretty, but like this as it is, not really impressed. Have you guys tried any of these hacks before? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Are there any other baking hacks that you've tried that you really like? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and check out the videos on the side in case you have missed any, and also the playlist for other like baking and cooking hacks if you like that kind of thing, because I test a lot of them. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos every Saturday. And that's everything. I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Love you all. Mwah.